InShalla and Ashe. Look at me today. I have to, it's rainy here, so I had to adjust the lights. But blessings to you and thanks for joining me. As always, for my show, super excited. So I'm a holistic medium and subtle energy surgeon. I look into energetic fields, and it's just kind of crazy how messages pop in for me. So you'll find if you're in my frequency, I might reach out to you on a random thought or a dream or something that always comes in. Or not. Sometimes I do that with strangers as well. But with that, one other thing I really want to share, like I'm so excited about this Musing Moon meditation. This full moon, it's really going to be galactic. And I'm really beyond elevated to actually share this little gift with you. And also for you that have subscribed to my channel and echoed it out to the universe, just sending galactic love to all of you as well. But welcome to the Daily Snippet. And anyone else have amazing rainstorms with all the goodness of some hail yesterday, early in the evening? It's actually still raining here. It brought out all the goodness of the heavens raining down on us, really, right? That's kind of at least how I see it. And we needed much needed rain. I might say, you know, we had forest fires everywhere here. They weren't that much contained, but hopefully they're out now. So it's just really amazing how lush the world feels when we have some galactic love like flowing down literally from the heavens above, and the rainbows and, you know, everything that comes with it. But today you can see that we have this young earth daymaster and a young earth dog on the branch. So as the rooster hour comes into play, we have a directional energy of metal in that hour. So metal energy is really going to be, again, influential today. It's also courage. So sometimes it takes courage to break through things, which I'm going to get to a little bit later in the snippet. But, you know, what does this Earth Day actually need? It really needs fire. Fire for Earth is the support system, and it's a resource. However, we still need nature in all of her abundance. I see no nature in there. I don't see any wood elements, not even hidden in the stems. So ultimately, you know, I would love to sit under the branches of an old wise tree in a nice rainstorm, you know, where the branches kind of turn into the umbrella of protection in a way. I have some juicy trees in my backyard, and they literally create a barricade, like a wall of just lush magic, like all around my house. Plus all the beings in nature, the birds, you know, how they hide in the trees when the rain or the storms come in. But today would really be a great day to bring all of those innovative ideas, that is nature, transformation, shift, change, to the fire. And also the fire supports the nurturing energy of the earth and all of the things. So it's all, you know, they all kind of, they have a purpose, everything does, right? So maybe you could ask yourself, how could you be nurturing more to yourself and bring some balance to your soul, actually, in a way? So I would actually bring in the elements of nature absolutely on a day like today. And today is one of, it's really a galactic universe kind of day. As we're, you know, midway to the weekend on our journey to the full moon, we're kind of in a climax to decide things that actually serve us to like the escalator or the elevator of higher transformation that ultimately shifts our fate and also our destiny, making it actually real in a way, bringing it into reality, where we've come to like this higher perspective, a mountaintop view, to choose literally a future that actually resonates within our heart field. Now myself, you know, I just want to say, I stay away from the news, the narrative. I really haven't watched the news or read anything for, I can't even think for how long. And I can honestly tell you that years ago when the 9/11 experience happened, for example, I didn't even know for like a few hours, because I just listened to music with no advertising. Now, you know, I stay out of it. And I didn't realize that experience had happened until a friend of mine actually called me and told me. But you might be thinking, oh my God, she's out of the loop, not watching the narrative. But honestly, I can sense it's the directive of creating the ailing of the world in this program. And yes, I also have been watching the Matrix trilogy all over and kind of sitting back and musing about it. So just kind of unplugging. And also, notice when you do unplug, or if you try to unplug, that you actually will start to unplug from the people actually around you. And then the unplugging, you can replug back in, but you have a different perspective. So for me, I'm just kind of sharing, I'm just musing along, but I really just start watching and notice what narratives come back in. So it's kind of like coincidences or synchronicities or a resonance. So I might, hear the same story, but from two different people where it's very familiar. It's in the same syncing. But so that's kind of how this works for me. But today the cosmic energy is it's highlighting our ability to actually be leaders, have courage, make decision. I always like to stick with what I call the laws of spirit over the laws of man, or rules, whatever that looks like. And different businesses, stuff like that are going to come online. So if you woke up feeling like you had this crazy weight on your shoulders, a responsibility of weightedness in a sense, or maybe you were sensing it in general, or this idea or essence that time's running out, in all of these seriousnesses. I should say earlier this year, I really had the feeling that time was of the essence and I was seriously running out of time. But to stay on the path and really go up against the grid, or even find my inner path to joy. So on a day like today, it's time to get all the seriousness, all that weightedness out of the way, all the busyness. And if you're like me, I have a daily list, because if I don't have a list, something's not going to get done. So I have to have the list of like the short list and then the long list, So anything that's really going to weigh you down, you want to kind of get that out of the way first, so you can really do the things that are going to lighten you up and free up your time, and also your energy in a quicker kind of way. So today really is the day to give your heart some real authentic exploration in your story. So, you can kind of ask yourself, I'm just kind of musing out loud. I would just ask yourself, what it is that you are really, ready to commit to, or, commit to a direction that actually your heart can really devote itself to. It's like this devotion in motion. So this is really a decision kind of day. So getting the devotion in the motion from the aspect of our heart grid, it starts turning into this beacon. It's like, what's on the table in front of you, those choices. Are you considering a little change in your life? And literal, it can go this way or it can go I way, choices come in many directions. So I've literally had to switch gears definitely and decide on some really, commit to some serious kinds of things for myself. Just making sure that I literally am in it to win it, like switching jobs. You could even be leaving a relationship. It's even like if you can imagine a puzzle piece that really doesn't fit in, whether it's the shape of the piece or the image on the piece, or, I'm just kind of giving you an idea. If, the piece actually fit in the puzzle, but the image on top of it was all black. So I'm just kind of giving you an idea to kind of muse about, maybe upcycle different things that you're committing to, like this more creative direction through your heart channel for the future, actually. And starting, just a new process where whatever it is that you're doing, or, you know, it's going to ultimately bring you more love, more joy, more peace into your life. It could really be something specific, actually, that you're committing to, or, you know, making a decision about, actually. But I just know in the grand scheme, like the big picture of things, a devoted heart's vibration, or the escalation of love, is this thing that can only be felt, truly felt. So to find this level, or, you know, to get on the escalator is what I call it. It's this devotion to see your life in fresh new eyes, a new direction, a new perspective. It really has to feel right into your heart. And also your heart has to just naturally ignite and open up and light up without any hesitation to the idea. So it's this organic opening that naturally just occurs when our heart opens up and it feels at ease in the commitment, what we're committed to do or devoted to do. So you can take an elevated pause or a breath of fresh air in a way. And I'm kind of loving that with the rain coming in today. It really is taking a breath and a pause of fresh air with nature. It's like all the bubbly fresh air with the trees. And you know, everybody loves a rainstorm, or at least I hope they do. So our heart is really, it's really in the conduit that knows what's actually best for our heart. So it's like having a heart-to-heart with your heart in all actuality, to truly know that your heart center is, you know, to really feel it, you know. So that would be like your left hand on your heart, not really clawing it like I just did, but really, really just hand on your heart and feel into the feelings. And the curious or the interesting stuff, you know, I see it like a clipboard. So on your clipboard, I guess, what is the mind? Where's the logic? Where's the evidence? Where's the facts? So those ones are really hardly ever, if ever, they hardly ever, if ever, speak to the core of our creation, which comes ultimately through our heart space, that eternal love flame that's actually felt in our heart with ourselves. So choose options that are going to naturally open up your heart space. And if you feel uncertain, you know, just take a breath and take a pause and filter back into it tomorrow. You don't have to like make quick decisions, especially if your heart's not feeling it. Just know and allow that the right choice will actually filter in and make you feel the calm inside of yourself and inspire mental creativity. And the important part about today actually revolves around the choices and the direction that in authenticity our heart seeks actually to take as we go down the conscious river streams. You know, you really want to let any kinds of worry or doubt just kind of fade away when it comes to how you're going to manifest these ideas or these goals. It's not about the hows, it's about the whats. So ultimately, choose the path that brings you that ultimate joy, that up-level joy, that elevated joy space. Because we're really in a place to really make this a galactic growth transformation kind of day where we literally transform fate into reality. So it's time to choose like this higher elevated perspective and aim for it actually into the future, like a fishing pole. That's kind of what I see, is like throwing the line out into the future. So it's just an elevated way to see your daily life, or an elevated way of just treating yourself in your own personal container all at once in like this swirl. So elevated for me means evolving or loving, you know. So it's this elevated love space. And the choice that we make will actually transform our beliefs about the future and how we look into that on a different narrative. So our third eye is actually online today. It's this visual perspective, navy blues, deep indigos, deep purples, burgundy, like a dark wine. I prefer a Malbec now that I've been having any for over a year. Except for on my birthday. But today really is a commitment kind of day. So it's time to commit to literally shining our beacon of light out into the world. It's time to roar like the lion, our inner roar, our courage. That's like the metal and the mineral. That's definitely in line with this 4 pillars of today. There's so much metal, which is also our voice. You know, it's the air, it's our lung, it's our large intestine. It's also our stomach processing everything that we're absorbing. But we do this mentally, emotionally, spiritually, you know, all of those aspects, and physically as well. So you kind of want to ask yourself if you're ready to roar and be the leader of the pack, because, you know, we're kind of in this galactic fortress to close the door on the dark ages, where what happens is it lights up to the old timeline. It just lights it out and lights on for the birth of the new timeline. So it might really feel magical to you today. I mean, I'm staying in that frequency, and, you know, we might not see it, but we're definitely going to feel it. And then we're going to have an also this whole defining kind of moment, because we're kind of in this apex where we're getting to the final note, floating in kind of in a way with the full moon. You know, we're like in the, I want to say the crescent of the wave, like if you're a surfer and you see a wave. So we are really moving, and we're closing the deal to hold a note, and we've kind of just begun, and we're into this flow with this crescendo into this full moon. So you might actually learn a lot today. Our mind really is ready to make some decisions, but those decisions will actually ultimately lead into an action. And our heart really has everything that it needs to lead us. So tune into your third eye, allow the devotion to come in, bring in the manifestation into your heart realm. Your intuition and your wisdom are actually online. Hold the note. I'm going to actually talk more about holding the note tomorrow, because we're kind of heading into this. The seed sound is Om. The Archangels for today, I would actually call in Jophiel or Azreal, or both. Jophiel's the beauty of God. So this is just like the natural flow of beauty. If you have any negative beliefs about your body or yourself, this angelic being is actually the one to call into. When you invoke her, she really comes in strong and intense, like this master coach. She's going to push you to upcycle your house, your outlook, and overall to just clean up your act. She guides artists, hair designers, decorators, anybody who makes the world more beautiful. So a closer reflection of like heaven, the heavenly realms. She loves to spruce up our environment, both physically and spiritually. She's also known as the angel of feng shui. So you can bring in that earthly element and the heavenly realms. And that's kind of what this chart kind of shows me. It's just, I look at what's missing. So this person actually in this 4 pillars, if this was a client, I would energetically already know that their vitality, they wouldn't have a lot of vitality with all that metal. Vitality is like nature energy, where metal is Venus circulation. The earth is lymphatic. So I would probably have this person start doing cardio to break down the earth and pull energy away from the metal by moving moving cardio. So it's like water, fire, nature, just looking at it. Don't know why I went off on that tangent, just looking at the chart. But Azreal is another angelic being. That's whom God helps. I think of assistance when I say that. But the angel of death, you know, we kind of get nervous about death. It's an end to all things, but actually there really is no end. It's just transformation. He does assist us in crossing over the realm, all the realms, I think, but also assist us in moving through different stages of grief. And I actually did a podcast in July. I had a few people cross the bridge in July. It was a rough month, I'm not going to lie. The podcast was dedicated to the wisdom of grief. So if you feel called to tune into that podcast, that would be awesome. And also, if you, for those grieving, if you all of a sudden feel happy instead of sad when you're at a funeral or a graveside or whatever, don't worry. It doesn't mean you're heartless. You're actually experiencing the spiritual truth that the soul is happy and in goodness in the heavenly realm. That's what this angelic being kind of brings to us when we're grieving to that level. And also, if you have an interest or, you want to start a career in developing any kinds of mediumship or ghost clearing, I do that quite often lately. This angelic being escorts any earthbound spirits away. So he's the one to call on if you want assistance in that kind of a career, which is awesome. I kind of float with all the angelic beings. They just come in naturally, like Sandalphon music. It's kind of the thing for the day. So now we have the card of the day, which I believe is right there. Yes, my camera didn't take the greatest picture. Obviously, you can see. But it's the Queen of Pentacles from my love deck. It was reversed. So that to me is like heaven's bringing bliss down to earth in an opposing force. The Queen, right? The Queen of Angels in a way. But the Queen of Pentacles is actually, she brings comfort, kindness, influence, assistance that's more practical. She's traditionally more of like an earth mother, which I thought was curious today because we have, there's an earth trine going on in the cosmic realm. So close to nature, she's close to her family. She does everything in her power to like protect and assist her family. I would hope that for all mothers, really, and actually they do, hopefully nurturing, sometimes I beat myself up over my mothering skills, but I'm a great fairy godmother. So she also signifies practical support, kindness, and material comfort. So this card really is like a reassurance. If you've been struggling financially, she can also represent business success, and that's kind of the commitment to change today in that affluence, what that looks like, or even mentoring in a way. And also, one of the key aspects of the Queen is her connection to nature, which, nature is this frequency and vibration of all the things. So you might feel called to reconnect with the natural world through walking, nurturing your garden, or spending time with animals. Some affirmations to get you on your way. It really is time to devote to this path of least resistance and just get into the flow and commit to a path for, our elevated good and our juiciness. So you could say things like, I am unbinding myself from commitments that do not serve my elevated good, or I am in devotion to the highest vibrations or frequencies of source, ascending unconditional love, and staying in the realm of the unconditioned love space. And with all of that, let's make it a love-felt day and devote to your own inner heart space. And I will see you on the other side.